like and subscribe. It happened just in the summer. Voronezh region, a small village, only the old people remained, the youth of my age all went to the city. But I stayed, got an education and helped my father with the household. I didn't know my mother at all. One photograph hangs on the wall, she was beautiful. That day I woke up early and stared at the ceiling for a long time. Realizing that I would not sleep again, I got dressed and went out into the yard. My father was already running the barn with might and main. "Sonia, go nervy grass rabbits," said the father, leading 3 cows. And I went. Mid-July, even at 7:30 in the morning it becomes unbearably stuffy. To get to the meadow, closer to the river, you need to go through only a couple of houses and turn right along the beaten path. I looked around in the meadow, everything was the same as before. I remember that the boys were in here to swim. And now all the boys are married and have gone to the cities, but I can't leave my father alone. He's not young with me, he's in his 70s. When the grass was cut and the rabbits were fed, I decided during breakfast to ask my father a question. "Dad, where's Mom?" I asked and hid. He doesn't like to talk about his mother. "Mom left," he said sternly. "Eat, come on, go to the other side and take milk to Aunt Luda. She doesn't even walk anymore. Go." The neighboring village is called that side in our village. You only need to walk 1.5 kilometers through the forest. And Aunt Luda is my nanny. For as long as I can remember, she has always lived with us, but recently her legs almost gave out, and therefore she moved to her house in a neighboring village. Now we help her in any way we can. I periodically bring her milk and cottage cheese, and she treats me to her strawberry pie. I've decided to postpone the trip for now. The chain from the bicycle flew off, and it was impossible to walk with banks and flasks. And as luck would have it, the cow left on the other side of the river. I had to run to the meadow and help my father catch Mushka while I did all the work, and the milk was ready for shipment. Evening came, I got on my bike and slowly rode along the country road, admiring the setting sun. Having entered the forest, it became much darker. Of course, I am not a shy guy, and I have traveled this road 100 times. I remember as a kid, I explored every bush here, running to the neighboring village to the girls. But my intuition told me to go faster. 1.5 kilometers is a short distance. It can be overcome in 3 minutes, but then this time seemed to me an eternity. Constantly something seemed to me, then a shadow, then a bush would move and frighten me. Finally, I left the forest, and the almost set sun illuminated the road. I got off my two-wheel friend and turned around. And what am I afraid of as a woman? The forest is like a forest. Spitting, and having reached my aunt, it's good that she lives almost on the outskirts. I knocked on the small window. Sasha, dear, had arrived. Come in quickly. The nanny quit knitting and went to open the massive doors. While I was eating strawberry pie, she questioned me like a father in a household. I could only nod. Having eaten the pie and given the milk, I was going back, where my dad had already driven the cow and closed the rabbits without me. Saying goodbye and promising to call more often, I got on my horse and set off. As we approached the forest, panic grew. And when I drove in, I really wanted to turn around and run away screaming. To calm down, I decided to walk. To the left and to the right, pines crackled with age, birch trees could be seen in the distance, and I became more and more convinced of my cowardice. Suddenly, a figure loomed in the distance. I instantly calmed down and quickened my pace. The bike creaked, and when there were no more than 30 steps between me and the figure, I froze and looked closely. It wasn't a person, and not a dog. Something between a mangy hyena and a coyote. The creature tensed. I couldn't move. Suddenly this creature turned around. I wanted to scream, but my tongue stuck to the sky. Sharp long ears pressed to the back of the head, sharp teeth sticking out from under the upper gum, and unnaturally yellow eyes. The creature began to grin and slowly moved towards me. Finally realizing that they would eat me, I unfolded bicycle, jumping on it and quickly pedaling. The unknown creature also accelerated. If not for the adrenaline raging in my blood, it would have overtaken me. I felt stinking hot breath, or it seemed to me, in general, only sitting with the nanny in the kitchen and eating a new portion of the pie, I came to my senses. He didn't tell anyone about the incident. He didn't want to worry the nanny. He was afraid to seem like a coward in front of his father. So he wrote it became easier, but what kind of creature it was, I still can't understand. Only God knows. Don't forget like and subscribe.